Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy reportedly endorsed the PGA Tour's decision to contemplate losing its non-profit classification to better equip itself financially to compete with the lucrative LIV Invitational Series, which is sponsored by Saudi Arabia. Do you think these two players can make historical changes in the golf world, or will Saudi Arabia take over them as well? Don't go anywhere because we're just getting started. First off, what is the situation at this point in time? Greg Norman was prepared for another battle with the PGA Tour because of his prior attempt to establish a rival league. He had what he repeatedly alluded to as the Tour's playbook. This version's conclusion may be similar. Norman's first attempt to put together a selected field to compete for large sums of money throughout the globe was unsuccessful. The PGA Tour used its political sway, Arnold Palmer supported the Tour's legacy, and then it was all over. The PGA Tour later adopted his concept. What resulted were the World Golf Championships, the wealthiest competitions with no cut and small field. Back when a $5 million payout meant a lot, Tim Fincham, a former commissioner of the PGA Tour, publicly expressed gratitude to Norman for his commitment and proposals in 1994. The year the first WGC was held. This is beginning to look like we're going in a circle in that regard. The most extensive reports from No Laying Up, which has featured star players on its podcast for years, hinted at a plan to organize up to 15 tournaments with some of the highest prize pools for a selected group of professional players. These were the most important details that came out of the players-only gathering last week. Norman likely feels that he has encountered this before. If we look at the strategy, this was more about modernizing the PGA Tour and putting an emphasis on its best stars than it was about attempting to stop Saudi Arabia-funded LIV Golf. This movement has developed differently from that of 1994. 23 players were present for the invitation-only gathering. According to No Laying Up, it all started with Tiger Woods, who traveled from Florida to Delaware for the conference. The next day, Rory McIlroy stated that they should regularly gather the best players. He was referring to everyone competing in the same competitions during the same weeks. The plan is currently midway between a dream and reality. The players have spoken with Commissioner Jay Monahan, and when he speaks before the Tour Championship, he might be able to give a clearer picture of the situation. Next up, did the conference end up in a disaster, or was it bad news for Norman? However, the significance of that meeting went well beyond the specifics. The players reportedly left feeling energized, unified, and unusually silent. This is the place where we should really warn Greg Norman about what's going to come his way. The fact that Xander Schauffele smiled while calling the hush a code doesn't mean he was kidding. What was the last instance of all the best players gathered in one place? A player asked while requesting anonymity to uphold such a code? Never has that occurred before. It illustrated the pride the players have in their circuit and their strong desire to fend off the biggest danger to professional golf. Moving on, you should probably know the notable exclusions. 16 of the top 20 players in the world standings were present, which is noteworthy. One of those who were missing joined the PGA Tour only 3 weeks ago. That would be Tom Kim. According to reports, another will depart for LIV Golf following this week. Letting you in on a secret, it might be Cameron Smith. Im Sung Jae and Hideki Matsuyama should have been included, however, they may have needed translation. Matsuyama reportedly wanted to know why he wasn't invited. The Japanese ace, according to two sources who are aware of his plans, is sitting tight. Some of these players could eventually depart for LIV. No one should be shocked by any defection after Brooks Koepka reversed his position in a single week in June. If so, whatever they leave behind and what they are joining could be quite similar. And then, is this the solution if this is the PGA Tour's future direction? Big money, no cutbacks, and short courses. Do you remember hearing this before? Except for the idea of team golf with strange names, it seems more like what Norman envisioned than a WGA idea. However, it will be far more significant when viewed through the lens of a tour, which has been the face of professional golf for more than 50 years. Additionally, it won't be subjected to the same kind of scrutiny as LIV Golf on its funding source, the Public Investment Fund. The fact that Norman's initial lawsuit from 1994 was never heard in court is another difference in the playbook. The verdict against the 3 LIV players who requested a temporary injunction to participate in the FedEx Cup playoffs was a major blow. Players that joined the LIV Golf at this time shouldn't anticipate playing on the PGA Tour until at least 2024, and many of them could miss out on all the majors unless they qualify through open events. The PGA Tour could be moving toward a new paradigm with small fields, huge prizes, guaranteed money due to no cuts, and the flexibility to compete in additional PGA Tour events that have personal significance to them while still earning a respectable purse. The tour could have decided to consider this sooner. Maybe this is better in the long term. Every PGA Tour player has the right to experience feeling like a defendant, according to one of the lessons learned from the antitrust action brought forth by defectors. They were informed, "This is your tour." They are now acting as though that were the case. The announcement of TMRW Sports was the latest jab at rival spin-off series LIV Golf from Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. The new startup firm founded by Woods and McIlroy, which is rumored to be working in some sort of partnership with the PGA Tour, will seek to employ technology to attract a younger golf audience. Sit tight, things are only going to get more interesting. Up next, how many notable players are still a part of the PGA? Numerous PGA Tour players, including Phil Mickelson, Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, and Dustin Johnson, have been lured away by the opulent Saudi breakaway league. Although Greg Norman, CEO of LIV Golf, raided the tour, Woods and McIlroy remained unmoved. The collective 19-time major champions have declined to sign on, with Woods rejecting his own rumored $800 million offer to join LIV Golf. The PGA Tour's greatest names recently assembled in Delaware to talk about how to counter the danger posed by Saudi-backed LIV Golf, with Tiger Woods traveling specifically from his home in Florida. In a news release, Woods praised Tomorrow, TMRW, saying that individuals he meets from all walks of life share their enthusiasm for sports, but they also share the ambition to build a brighter future for the next generation of sports fans. The revelation comes in response to said elite golfers may potentially compete in a non-green grass stadium setting in collaboration with the PGA Tour thanks to McIlroy and Woods, 2 of the greatest players. Events with the PGA Tour as a partner would start in 2024, and NBC Sports will be given the option of broadcasting them. Players discussed tour preparations for a potential 18 no-cut events, with 60 players during critical meetings in Delaware. Of particular importance was the opportunity to compete for $20 million in prize money. In comparison, bitter competitor LIV Golf presently has $25 million in prizes. The tour has additional strategies in mind to limit LIV's progress. Rory McIlroy stated that they are working together with Tiger, Mike, and other Tomorrow sports partners. They can alter the manner that media and technology elevate the sports experience. Finally, what is the purpose of all this? They aim to make sporting events more accessible to a wider range of people in a world where technology offers so many options for how we may spend our free time. At the Hotel DuPont, 20 of the top 30 golfers in the world reportedly attended, including world number 1, Scottie Scheffler, US Open champion Matt Fitzpatrick, Patrick Cantlay, Joaquin Niemann, and Adam Scott, who have been heavily connected to a transition to LIV Golf. Importantly, the group was missing some key players amid suspicions that 7 further players would defect to the Saudi-funded breakaway. It was reported earlier this month that despite competing in the inaugural FedEx Cup tournament in Memphis, Tennessee, Cameron had already accepted a $100 million deal to join the LIV Golf Series. The world number 2 is reportedly going to be officially introduced by Norman's LIV Golf, along with 7 other famous players. The announcement is expected to happen right after the world number 2 has finished pursuing a potential payday from the playoffs following the end of the Tour Championship on August 28th. Mike McCarley, who formerly served as NBC Sports head of golf and worldwide strategy, is the 3rd member of Woods and McIlroy's Tomorrow Sports Trident. He will serve as the organization's CEO. Dick Ebersol, a former executive producer for NBC Sports and several Olympics and Super Bowls, was also named as an inaugural investor in Tomorrow Sports. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Woods and McIlroy plan to work in their favor? Let us know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Bye.